Welcome back to the Dargo Show. Today I'm back in Horizon 5 to do a video on best engine swaps. If you haven't seen my previous video on this, go check out the Honda CRX. That thing is super fun. But today we're hopping into the Toyota Baja truck. Now this is a barn find you can find. I don't remember what number it is, but I got it pretty early on in the game. So everybody will have access to this truck, and it has a really special engine swap that most cars in this game don't have. Stock, this thing is actually not too bad. It's near the top of B class with 360 horsepower, 265 foot-pounds of torque, but it weighs 4,000 pounds, so it's kind of heavy. But for a B class cross-country Baja truck, it's actually pretty solid. The 3.4 liter revs all the way to 9,000 RPM, which is kind of crazy for a Baja engine. Usually they're lower revving with higher torque, but this thing revs out pretty high and has some crazy suspension. Most Baja trucks do a solid axle with a 4-link setup in the rear for suspension, but this actually has independent rear suspension, which is kind of crazy to see. So this thing is just a super cool all-around truck. I love the look of it. It's one of the older generation Tacomas. So we're going to go in and put that crazy engine in it. This actually has a couple of good engine swaps, but the one I'm mostly focused on is actually a Toyota engine, kind of. Okay, so we're here in the upgrades. You can see there's actually not a ton of upgrades for this thing. Basically just do engine stuff, drivetrain, and tires and rims, and that's it. But if we go over here to the conversions, we have 3 other engine swaps. So we got the 6.2 liter V8, no surprise there. And then down here we got the 7.2 liter V8, again, no surprise there. A lot of these Baja trucks have those engines as swaps. But right here, 4.8 liter V10. And for those of you who don't know what this engine is, this actually comes out of the Lexus LFA. So yeah, technically it is a Toyota engine. Lexus, you know, because they're Toyota. This is a super cool engine. And I'm going to toss this in here. 552 horsepower, 354 foot-pounds of torque. So it's not great in the torque aspect, but we could always put twin turbos on it later on to give it a lot more torque. And it ends up with a lot of power, I think somewhere around 1,000. Somehow this makes the truck heavier. I'm not sure how, because this engine does not weigh much, but maybe that 3.4 liter is all aluminum or something. Anyways, we'll toss this in here, and I think we'll start off with making this relatively reasonable, maybe top A class, because we're near the bottom of A class right now. So all-wheel drive, save the twin turbos for now. Let's see what we have for tire options. Okay, so we can only widen the tires. We can't change any of the compound or anything. And it looks like we can go 345 square, so that is huge. We'll toss some different wheels in here. We're probably going to save, oh yeah, a lot of weight. 107 pounds on those wheels. That is incredible. Let's do something super lightweight. Maybe these. I love these BBS turbo fans. I put these on probably way too many vehicles. Toss those on there. Maybe go a little bit bigger to show them off a little more. There we go. That's nice. 100 pounds on wheels. That is so crazy. I think we'll upgrade our drivetrain. Oh, since we did all-wheel drive, it already automatically upgrades us to the 6-speed race. So that's good. Put an off-road diff on it. And then go over to engine upgrades. You see this engine has a decent amount of upgrades. So we'll just start tossing everything we can on it and see where it gets us. Unfortunately, this engine, the stock and race exhaust sound the same. But that's okay, because it's a very nice sounding exhaust. One of the best, I think. So really cannot complain there. And it looks like doing every single engine upgrade puts us actually perfectly at the top of A class with every single upgrade you can put on this truck. That is really convenient and does not happen very often. Let's see what this ends up with. Okay, 4,200 pounds, so we gained a little weight. But we have also doubled our horsepower, so that should help. That would make it a lot better. We will toss a quick tune on this. Let's see what our gearing looks like. Okay, we do not need to do 200 miles an hour. Oh, well, that made us go faster. Okay, maybe we'll do 200 miles an hour. That's probably good there. I don't think we need to change any alignment. Suspension, might as well raise it all the way up since this is a cross-country vehicle. Damping looks pretty good. Can't do anything with aero, unfortunately. And I think I'm going to move some of the power to the rear. Tends to balance out the truck a little bit better and make it oversteer slightly, which is a characteristic I like more in trucks. Leave the stock paint. I like this Baja paint job that it has. That is such a strange noise coming out of a Baja truck. It sounds super sick though. Very unique. And the only engine upgrade that you can get that actually makes it rev higher than the stock one. So we are at 9,500 RPM. This thing is pretty quick too for A class. It does have 715 horsepower. And this truck, man, look at that suspension. This game, the Baja trucks and like the buggies and stuff definitely benefit more from their soft suspension than like putting rally springs on, say, like an SUV or something. You can tell the difference between their handling characteristics, so they actually made these worth using over just some random SUV or like a Lamborghini with off-road tires and rally suspension, which I really appreciate. In Horizon 4, these trucks just weren't used because they weren't that good. As you can see, I can just drive over anything and this thing does not care. I mean, even hitting bumps like this, no problem at all. So I think we need to do some cross-country races with this setup. Okay, we're here in the first race. Interesting, the Warthog. Probably not the best vehicle to be in the rain, but guess that guy is going for the full send there. Oh, multiple Warthogs. Should be a good test of how this thing handles. Okay, wow, those AI are way faster than me. Hold up. This thing doesn't seem that slow, but oh, of course it's a tank pool truck in first place. For whatever reason, when the AI do off-road or cross-country races, the tank pool truck is in these races, and it's the fastest thing every time. Like, look at that thing go. Speaking of fast, this truck is actually really fast. I mean, the AI are not making it look fast, but it's pretty quick. And we're on a bit of pavement here. And this is one of my favorite parts about the Baja trucks, is the fact that they three-wheel a lot of the time, since they have so much suspension that's so squishy. This thing actually handles pretty solid. Sounds great too, and looks great. It's a big factor of these best engine swaps, is they gotta sound good, and the vehicle, I mean, it helps when it looks good too. We are flying down these straights, almost 150 miles an hour off this jump. Jeez. And that's why I like the Baja trucks. It just soaks up that big jump. No problem at all. It doesn't, like, rebound and bounce around and do anything weird. Some of the off-road SUVs, they definitely have that problem where they kind of will hop around and are hard to control off the landings. Pitch this thing in. Look at the amount of camber on that front wheel. That's crazy. And I'm getting kind of smashed by the AI, but then again, I do have them on a relatively high difficulty, so it's kind of to be expected. Mostly this is just kind of an entertaining truck to drive. I mean, if you really want a meta vehicle, obviously you're going to take like a Willys Jeep, because that hasn't been nerfed enough and is always crazy. A lot of those like old off-road vehicles that you can put crazy engines in, you can really work with all the PI and stuff to get them just crazy. But you probably could with this too. That 6.2 liter V8 might be a better option, but this is a better sounding option. Oh, look at that. We go from... Oh, come on. No! 7th to 4th. Almost 3rd, but apparently that Warthog is quicker. But not bad. Okay, so race 1 done. This thing is not too bad, but I do want to see how much power I can get out of it with the twin turbos. So I was looking at them, and just putting them on the vehicle gives it 200 something more horsepower, and that's them not upgraded. So I think we can get this engine over 1,000 horsepower, which would be a big upgrade in this truck. We're not going to be any kind of meta in S1, because it only put us in like maybe S1 840. But it'll still be a fun truck to drive if you're in like solo and whatnot, because then the AI are stacked relatively fair against you. So let's get in here, toss in, oh yeah, 235 horsepower. We're up to 950 horsepower. Oh, another 1,227 horsepower. Okay, and we got intercooler left, another 54. Wow, that's a lot of power. Almost 1,300 horsepower, almost 800 foot-pounds of torque in this thing now. This should rip. Oh, wow. Okay, so it is way higher in S1 than I thought it would be. All right, race number 2. This time we have nearly 570 more horsepower than we did previously, so that is a very large increase. We'll see how much of a difference that actually makes. Ah, the tank pool truck. It's like the final boss of Horizon Off-Road. Kind of like the Matt in Wii Sports. He's just unbeatable in every scenario. Okay, yeah, this is definitely a lot quicker. We are cruising 150 miles an hour. Oh my god. Whoa, whoa. Okay, okay. That is a very large, uncontrolled drift. Whoops. Okay, so gotta be a little careful. That power can kind of get away from you a little bit if you can't stop. This doesn't have any brake upgrades, and this thing is from 1993, so it... Oh no. Oh no, what happened there? Tank pool truck got obliterated. Maybe that gives us a chance at winning. Probably not, because we're in 10th place, but we still got a lot of distance to... Oh, that was scary. Oh, there's 2 tank pool trucks. I almost died on those railroad tracks. That was really scary. Okay, come on, truck. Oh no, oh no. It has this issue where if you drift too much, it just is not savable. If only we could put drift suspension on it to get that extra camber. Or steering angle. Or like, whoa, the tunnels. Okay, there are the lights. These tunnels are crazy. If you hit the edges, they're really deadly. Big drift. Flying past the tank pool truck. Oh, I almost got clipped there. We are good to go. Come on. Turn car. There we go. Wait. Did that AI just fail? Oh, he probably missed his checkpoint. It's like he just disappeared. Yeah, he missed the checkpoint. Okay, so wait, we're in 7th place? What? Okay, well, I'm not doing as good as I thought I was. Don't hit the tree, don't hit that. Okay. And we are 3-wheeling somehow. Well, not a great finish, but I also did a bit of a spin multiple times. But I beat both the tank pool trucks, so technically I beat the final boss, right? So it's a win. It's a win. Okay, so we proved that this is a pretty capable off-road vehicle, obviously, but I want to see what the maximum power we can get, just full upgrades on the 7.2 liter V8. So let's grab this, twin turbo it. What is the supercharger? Oh, the supercharger gives us the same amount of power. Ooh. Let's see if we can fully upgrade the supercharger as much as the turbos, because the supercharger sounds super sick. Okay, that only gives us 60 horsepower, where I have a feeling the turbos are going to give us more. Let's go over here, turbos. Oh, the turbos are the same. Okay, we're running supercharged on this because superchargers and V8s just go together. I love that high-pitched whine of the supercharger with the low-pitched V8 noise. Oh yeah, that's the stuff. Okay, 72 horsepower, 37, 46, another 67. Of course, we got to get the flywheel. Are we? Okay, so basically this engine just has a little bit more power and a little bit more torque than the V10. It does sound pretty good, and I think it might even weigh a little less, like 50 pounds, which isn't massive, but... Oh, okay. So 80 pounds, and we get 70... Yeah, roughly 70 more horsepower and 8 more points. That costs 70,000 credits. That is not a lot of improvement for 70,000 credits. I don't expect this to make a whole lot of difference beside, I think it gave us 100 foot-pounds of torque, or 80, so that would be where it helps. But I mean, when you're talking like 920 to 1,000, I don't think you're going to notice the difference that much. Well, maybe you are. This thing launches way crazier now. Almost wheelies. Oh yeah, you can 3-wheel it, no problem. We'll do one final race with the V8 and see how it is. Personally, I'd probably run the LFA engine in it just because that is such a weird swap and one of my favorite engines in the game. I'm a little disappointed you can't get this Baja truck up to a perfect S1. It's nice being at the top of a class, especially in multiplayer, but in cross-country it doesn't matter quite as much, since a lot of the time it's just like trying to keep the truck on the road and not flipping it over or hitting a tree. Whoa, yeah, I probably should have changed the gearing with this. Wow. That's a very large jump. Jeez. Oh, oh, wow. Goodbye, Ford truck. That guy had a bad day. Okay, make the turn, make the turn. Here we go. Yeah, okay, that torque and extra power in this makes a huge difference. This is way faster with this engine. But if you were wanting to put this in A-Class, certainly try out the V10. That's a sufficiently insane engine. Even this engine, though, revs to 8,000 RPM, which is pretty good for a big V8. we are absolutely flying down this 170 miles an hour. Wow. Yeah, this is nuts. Okay, pitch it in, pitch it in. Whoa, thank you, AI. Appreciate the help. Okay, this is actually a pretty solid S1 off-road vehicle. It handles really well, and it's really, really fast. Uh-oh. We are in the river. Oh, turn. There we go. We're fine. Okay, we're back in the river on this side. I always speak a little too soon on the handling of vehicles, as I just mess up every corner. Now we're back on track. We're going to the super cool rock area. I love all these crazy looking rocks. They kind of fit the aesthetic of a crazy truck, you know. Cross-country races in this game definitely improved over the ones in Horizon 4. These jumps are so nuts. I love how they just totally gave up on the realism part and were like, yeah, we're going to have you jump 500 feet down a hill. That seems reasonable. As we are flying down this road. Okay, 181 miles an hour. That's nuts. Second place, though. Much, much better this time. So, if you're looking for the fastest engine, definitely put the 7.2 liter in there. That extra torque makes a big difference. But overall, Toyota T100, a really fun off-road truck. Well, that is it for the 93 Toyota T100 Baja truck. If you guys enjoyed this video, please make sure to like, and if you want to see more videos like this, subscribe to the channel. I do these videos a couple times a week. I also do challenge videos with a couple of my buddies, so definitely stay tuned for those. And leave a comment down below saying what your favorite off-road vehicle is. I know this is definitely one of mine, and I think it was a lot of people's in Horizon 4, so let me know what you think, and I'll see you in the next one.